Hi guys, welcome to this tutorial. This video is going to look at question 4 from the November 2020 paper. That paper was Rosie and her kids at the house seeing the creepy kid. If you've not had access to this paper, I'm just going to pause it, or you pause here so you can have a read. And then here. Whoops, and the last part of the story there. Okie doke. Right, so question 4, as we know, is the evaluation question, your student statement, and we get here a student has said, I wasn't surprised by the disappearance of the stranger child. The writer has left us in no doubt she's just part of Rosie's imagination. So we've got, again, the two parts, and the two parts are that we're not surprised by the disappearance, and the fact that we've got no doubt that she's part of Rosie's imagination. So there's two things to talk about. As I said in previous videos, technically they don't say you have to talk about both parts of the statement, but I think that it is best practice to do that, and I think it gives you a more balanced response, and I'm just wary that some examiners might go, they've not dealt with this and they might unfairly punish you. So I think just best bet is to try to focus on both elements. So we're looking at, do we agree that we're not surprised that the kid disappeared, and do we agree that she's just part of Rosie's imagination? I think this we would be, probably largely agreeing. This perhaps a little less certain, isn't it? And that's why we're starting off a response to this with to an extent I do agree. So remember that our priorities with this question are evaluating, weighing up in your own words, and what are your ideas, your basically take on the statement. We need to have methods, which is techniques, in a really basic way, language and structure stuff, and we need examples, so we need some quotes in there as well. So I always start mine with something like, to a certain extent or to a degree, I do agree that we aren't surprised by the girl's disappearance at the end. So what I've got here is a link to the statement. I'm straight away focusing on the part of this, sort of that student statement, which bit I agree with. So I'm going to then back that up. So the child's body language is anxious and fearful, suggesting she is nervous in the garden. The adjectives, quick and furtive, paired with the simile, quick like the darting of a mouse, suggest that she is nervous and cautious. She seems prepared to run at the first sign of threat or danger, so it feels highly likely that she would not remain there. So what I've got here is methods. I've also got examples. And then I've got this idea of this linking back to the statement. I'm saying she's scared, this little girl, and she's frightened and worried, and therefore I'm not surprised in that case that she disappears or runs off. Okay, and I wanted in this response, I said this would only be kind of half a response really, but I wanted to think about that second bit about no doubt that she's just part of Rosie's imagination, because I think there is doubt there. And so I'm going to go on to say, although it feels possible she's part of Rosie's imagination, for example, Cara being unfazed by the child could suggest she isn't there, it's also true that Cara was engrossed in the garden, whereas Rosie, as an adult and parent, was more likely to notice something unusual. So I'm acknowledging, her kid doesn't see, Cara doesn't see this stranger child, but I'm using evidence, through my embedded quotes to explain why that might be and to have a different perspective. Equally, Rosie looks through the clearest window, and the writer's use of the verb peered to describe her looking out the window does suggest a sense of close scrutiny, as though she was closely examining what she was seeing, making it less likely to be her imagination. So I've got this sense of evaluation and the kind of link to the statement here right at the end. So this is just a really short tutorial for you today, but I just want you to think about giving yourself that freedom to really agree, disagree, engage with the statement, and to look for different or more unusual interpretations. So our takeaways are evaluating, getting methods in, plenty of embedded quote examples, but really making that connection as much as possible back to the statement, saying how and why you agree. Okay, so I hope that was useful. why don't you carry on this response yourself in the same style that I've done. Thanks for watching. Bye.